Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting started. I'm your host, Exia, as we will be switching over to the live screen as the practice session is about to wrap up, and it is as the drivers are starting to finish up their few laps here around the track as we will get started with the qualifying session, everybody. It is truly an honor to be here at Snetterton. I just want to say a huge thank you to all the drivers that have showed up. We have 27 drivers here today as the race is about to start for qualifying, and it looks to be sunny here going into the qualifying session as we have 1 minute 42 seconds left to play. As the countdown goes through, I think we're waiting for Farmer to finish up his lap, as well as Hopkins and Louis in the BMW. He looks like he's having a little bit of issues here, trying to make his way around the track as well. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that as we get through, as we approach the start of qualifying. This should be fun to see. Hopkins slots himself to 23. Welcome back, Mr. Bruce Hopkins. He was not here for the first race, and here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The practice session is over with as we get ready to get started with the qualifying session. I apologize. Should have just went through all of this quicker. And here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get going. If you have for the viewers that are watching, if there is someone that you'd like to see, let me know. Here we see Farmer coming out. He is the P2 finisher of the beginning of the race at Laguna Seca. Ember is in the chat. Farmer! That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Farmer in the Meta car, the Honda NSX, as I like to joke about it. But everybody has their right to choose the car that they want to drive with. His car has been looking super racy. He topped the board here in practice, so we'll see if he's able to time that again for the race. He's definitely getting a little slidey. We have 27 drivers so far today. What an amazing race. But the thing is how will these drivers make their way around the track for the qualifying session as they work their way through here? That is definitely going to be an interesting one, to say the least. As you can see, the track is super busy, super packed, as everybody is trying to make their way around the grid. So we'll definitely have to see how everybody performs and gets their way around. As we watch through the order, we have 918. 918 is going to be Casey Bennett. He's going to be leading us out here in the qualifying session. So this man, if he does not invalidate, he'll have provisional pole. Chrysler York right behind him. Tuda further back behind Chrysler York as they get going through here. This is definitely going to be an interesting one. We have 18 minutes left to play and a very tight British track. Some drivers not going out. We have one of Danilo Onisto. I apologize if I botched your name. Number 199. He is sitting in the pits. He's not coming out. Wilson Fernandez is coming out. We have Andrew Jaschke. He's sitting in the pits. Andrew Cooper is sitting in the pits. Casey Bennett looking nice and tight through turn one. He's been feeling the most that he's ever felt in that portion. Number 188 looks to be a yellow flag for him, number 188, which is Alan Zhu in that Porsche in that back section right before the main straight kickoff. So as they go through, car 51, he's working his way around. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye on that. Oh, man, look at that. Casey Bennett looking super strong in that red Porsche. Nice deep into that turn right there as he works his way around the bend, coming up into this middle section. Now, this is going to be a little tricky. You have to hold a little bit of a gear and kind of just carry it through, as Afonso looks like he had a few issues. He's going to drive back into the pits and possibly try to make it out, as we're now seeing 27 full drivers race. Now, the question is, will we get the 28th one? Hypersonic, a.k.a. Brian Douglas, in that black and blue Blue Speed Burr Racing McLaren. Will he be able to join in with us? He said he was looking super strong with that McLaren prior, so let's definitely keep an eye on him as well, as we see the red Porsche working his way on up to the final corner as he works his way around the bend. So we still have yellow flags going around the track, which is understanding based on how this track is. A lot of people probably thrown off guard based on how the British tracks are. As he comes Bennett comes through to the final corner, trying to get the big toe from the McLaren onto the front straight. Where will Casey put his car provisionally? What is he set? Casey drops in a 47.8. Let's see where they start laying themselves in. Tuda, Wilson P2, Tuda 3, 2/10 right behind each other. Kimball slots himself P4. Chrysler York is the yellow McLaren driver. He's going to slot himself P6. Farmer slots himself P1 with a 146.4 in the Honda. Let's take a look who is the next one. Number 77. Renato Rocchio in the Lamborghini, the white Lamborghini. What is he going to do as he's coming up to the main straight in that white Lamborghini? Does he set a valid time or does he not? He sets a valid time. He's going to slot himself P6 in the Lambo. Alex Ardonian, he's going to slot himself into P2 with that Aston Martin. The Aston Martin cars are definitely showcasing themselves in the pace as we'll follow along with Aiden Hasbrock. He is looking super racy. He did a 149.2, which looks to be his last lap. Looks like he fell back. And Aiden going a little bit wide, having a few issues in this race. Definitely not, trying to set himself up the right way as he goes through. So let's take a look as Aiden comes through here. What is he going to do? Is he going to sell? Michelle goes P10. Artem slots himself P6. So those are some of your drivers so far here as we work your way through. Aiden is definitely warming up his tires. He's off the pace here. James Parks is looking super racy. He is up 2/10 right now coming through. He's sitting there P11 in that McLaren. Around the first turn he goes. Let's see. Stefan Buckley rocks himself into P8. Peter David P11. Let's take a look. Who else is? Wilson Fernandez slots himself P2. 5/10 off the pace of Farmer. Those two drivers were battling it out. Yes, last week in the, I apologize, at Laguna Seca. So let's take a look. Andrew Jashke, he is in the Audi. He has Louis in front of him, the BMW driver. As they go through, Andrew Jashke trying to find out the pace of that Audi. In these few races, as John Bulling, the driver from prior years ago, back when we were just starting out as a beginner league, he is joined in with his good friend. So John is sitting there P9 in that Aston Martin. Welcome back, good sir. Ricky Scott P7 for the Ricky Scott fan club that's watching today as well. As we go through here, let's see. Did Andrew Jashke put himself? He put himself P9. Oh, less than a 10th right behind Josh Kimball in that AMG. And now Louis is going to try to race with Andrew Jashke to find the pace that he's going to need to regain himself. But Aiden Hasbrock's last year's championship winner stuck behind an Aston Martin trying to make it through the grid. And it doesn't seem like he's really getting the pace that he needs. Is he going to try to slot a move here during qualifying as we see Trash Panda in that green Ferrari right ahead of Aiden Hasbrock as they come up through under the bridge they go. Late break by the McLaren. It's going to be a hard break and a right-hand turn for him as they go through. So if Afonso slots himself P11, Alan Zhu P13. So a lot of these drivers wheeling and dealing in super tight lap times with 12 minutes left to play. We're following everybody the best, so we can't. So Chestnut could set a time right in front of Aiden Hasbrock. So let's take a look at what Chestnut can do in that green Ferrari. As he crosses the line, P16, Aiden Hasbrock, P5, 1.5 seconds off the pace as this battle keeps developing and growing here in this race. Let's take a look. Who else can we take a look at that's on a flyer that's possibly improving? Let's take a look. Right now it shows Jacob Michelle. He's on the front straight. He's 10.4 seconds faster on his lap. He slots P2. He's 4/10 off the pace of Farmer. So right now Farmer's having a lot of competition. Carbonado has joined the chat. Carbonado, I have missed you so much. You haven't been racing with us very often, so it's and I haven't seen you in the chat. cheering on your dad. For those that don't know, that's just joined. Carbonado is the fan club member of Casey Bennett, who's sitting P5, and we were talking about Jay Bowling's good friend that has joined us in this league, Cooper Sims in the Aston Martin. Definitely showcasing his pace and performance in that 91 car, looking super strong in that Aston Martin. Let's see what he can do in the pace that he can set. He was doing a 52.9, which was his fastest lap prior. Now let's see if he can reel it all in together and put in a strong lap, because if he's able to reel it in and put it all together, he could slot himself up. 52.9 would probably put him right ahead of James Parks, which would be 21st, but still that's something that's better than nothing right now, especially in this qualifying session. Let's take a look. Michelle is still in P2 right now for the qualifying session, but does not look like he's improved. Alex Ardone reels in Farmer there, so the fight is now taking a little bit more as we see Chestnut jump to 18. And a lot of, okay, Simmons slots himself to P21. Definitely a super strong battle here, as some of these drivers that we've seen in other races. Actually, let's take a look. Bruce Hopkins, let's see what he was doing. He hasn't set a time yet. Louis doing a 151.2. That was his last lap. Definitely be interesting as he's about to cross the line. Is it valid or is it invalid? Looks to be invalid, but now he's going to be on a fast lap, and you see Tuda coming out. He's going to want to be setting times here real quick. Let's take a look at the difference up at the top. 4/10 separating from Farmer here in P1, as we see Michelle, Ardonin, Wilson, Bennett all trying to chase down Farmer here. That's P1 in this race. Carbonado says school started, so been busy. Oh, that's understandable. And doing homework right now. You know what? That's good. You want to do your homework. You want to be smart. You know what I mean? In the future. Now let's see. We have Anthony Medoas. He is going through in the McLaren. Ooh, he's lost it a little bit. Oh, into the wall. The McLaren is just died. I felt that in my soul, ladies and gentlemen, as we go through. Tim Wilkins slotting himself P23, 1/10 off the pace of Bruce Hopkins, but there is still room to improve with 8 minutes and 50 seconds left to play here in the qualifying session. So there's anything can happen there. Let's take a look as we see Farmer still out in the lead. Anybody improving on their time? Andrew Jaschke is up 6/10 on his time in P13. 6/10 will slot him into that top 10. Probably right behind Josh Kimball if he can make it happen. Right now the timing board says 8/10. Can he make it stick? But we have Josh Kimball right behind him coming out of that corner as well. So Josh Kimball's up 3/10. This could play into a factor if Andrew Jaschke loses it in the final corner here. He may not be able to try to leapfrog Josh Kimball. Josh Kimball's found 2 more tenths. So he went from 3 to 5. Will Josh keep it against Andrew Jaschke? Let's see what we have here. And across the line. Oh, Josh Kimball slots himself P5 ahead of Casey Bennett. Andrew Jaschke slots himself P8. What an amazing run. We have Tuda sitting there P9 with Matt Artem P10, both same lap times. Wow, what an amazing run there. With laps, Chestnut and Bowling both same lap times here at Snetterton. Let's take a look. Who else is on a heater right now? We've got Peter David. He is up a whole entire second in the Honda as he's about to cross the line. What can he do? Slots himself P19 ahead of Louis. As we see Matt Artem in the Audi coming out. Bruce Hopkins is up 8/10 on his pace. He's coming through this midsection. This little double apex left-hander as he works his way through. Let's take a look, see what happens. Wilson is, and Josh Kimball, they're kind of not really improving that much. Brian Douglas manages to join us in the number 28 car for this race. What an amazing show of force of the drivers here today. What an amazing run. But Bruce Hopkins is up 1.3 seconds on his pace. 1.3 would put him at around the 4-second mark, so he could jump 2 spots ahead, put him right into the 21st spot with that Aston Martin. So let's see how he does as he comes around the bend here. He's going to be coming up to the final couple corners here. This long right-hander where you have to kind of hold it in third gear, let the suspension work and play with you when you come through, and then you're going to have to do a late brake as we see him coming around here. Usually it's the second orange Billard as he comes through. Beautiful, nice brake. Doesn't try to use a whole lot of that runoff because it'll mess him up. 1.5. 1.5 would probably put him 20th. Let's see, what can he get more? Boom, he does 20th. That's right, everybody. We're calling it these days. Let's take a look who is up on their times. Josh Kimball is floating. Farmer does not look like he's improving on his lap times. Let's take a look. Andrew Cooper's up 0.3. He's P14 in the Honda as he's coming around the bends here. Let's take a look. Oh, he's up 0.5 now. Coming through. Now he's on the back straight. How much more can he reel in? 0.3 right now. 0.3 would put him around P13, but if he can find that extra 10, he could jump it. Jump Stephon Buckley in that Audi as we see Michelle. He is sitting off in the side with that black, gray and purple Mercedes. I can't talk today. So we have a yellow in the qualifying session, but that is because of all the amount of traffic that we have racing around with us. Ooh, Cooper loses it. So that's going to invalidate his time. Alex Ardeen, he was up 0.1, but he lost a little bit of his time there. So Cooper was not able to set a valid lap. Wilson sitting out on the track. Louis is up 0.5 as he's coming through onto the main straight. 0.5. That's going to leapfrog him. He's going to put himself higher than Peter David with the toe from the Ferrari. Ooh, 0.030 off the pace of P17. It is looking super racy here, ladies and gentlemen. Chrysler York is up 0.3 on his lap as well as he's coming through here. Now he's working through this midfield section, which is nice and definitely really interesting to work with because you go through one left-hander where you kind of want to hold it in second or third depending on your car with the gear ratios. You want to hold it, but then you also want to hold it for that right-hander that York just went through. And in this one, tier 2, you want to hold it because you're going to get on this long straightaway, and it's just going to be an interesting one down this back straight here because you're going to come up to this braking mark right underneath this bridge where you're starting to see the braking marks here, but you want to try to aim for the second to last one, and it's going to be super tight with the drivers as they come in here because that's a nice tight right-hander. And here they go through. Let's take a look at Brian Douglas. Brian Douglas is on a heater, so let's see what he can do. He is a little bit late on qualifying. It's showing that he's 0.5 off of his pace, but 0.5. He could improve and jump a little bit based on his laps here, but if he could put his car midfield, I mean, that would be wonderful for someone who wasn't in there. Let's see, where did Chrysler York, did he jump? No, he's still P19. Doesn't look like he jumped a little bit. Keep an eye on this as we go through. Ooh, Josh Kimball all over the back end of Brian Douglas. He is trying to work. Ooh, looks like Josh Kimball lost it a little bit going through that bend, and Brian Douglas probably just a misjudgment in the braking zone. Probably wasn't expecting Brian Douglas to probably catch the brakes there a little bit. Oh, Brian Douglas lost himself P25. So let's take a look. Renoku is up 0.4. He's coming down the back straight here as he approaches the wonderful under the bridge right hand. Ooh, catches the curb. The back end snaps, but does he save it? He does. Does he manage to save some time? No, he does not. Andrew Cooper is up 0.2 as he's working his way through the infield up to this right hand bend here as he goes. as we follow through. I apologize, but ladies and gentlemen, I'm just shocked. We have 28 drivers here today racing. Brian Douglas is up 6/10 on his time, so we'll just keep an eye on that because 6/10, now 7, now it's growing. 7/10 could push it even further because right now Brian Douglas with 7/10, this is a big leapfrog because this will put him into that 23rd spot. Now he's up 8/10, so he can grow. He can gain a little bit more. Here, let's take a look. Oh, let's jump back down. Where is Brian Douglas? He's up 6/10 as he's working his way through. Here he comes through the final corner, nice and tight. Let's see if he can stick it. He's up 7/10. Now he's coming up to the final corner. Did he lose it? Nice acceleration out of there. Didn't touch the curb a whole lot. Now he's up to 1.1. Oh, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Bam! Puts himself P23 ahead of Medeiros. I apologize if I botched your name. I apologize. 100%. Let's see as we go through. Aiden Hasbrock, he is up 3/10. Our defending champion trying to make something happen here with 6 seconds in qualifying. It is just going by super fast to see how everything as they go through here. Let's take a look at what Aiden Hasbrock can do. Can he improve his time to put him up a little bit higher, and especially ahead of Josh Kimball, who is just having a race of his lifetime? 3/10. It looks like he's gonna hold it here at qualifying. See, as Aiden is about to cross the line, what can he do? Bam, P5, but Mathis Tuda, he's up 2/10 in the Ferrari coming up to the final couple corners. Aiden Hasbrock slots himself P5, but Tuda is up 2/10. If he can hold it and around the final corner as he approaches, if he can gain a little bit more time, he can leapfrog Aiden Hasbrock to put him in that top 5. Let's take a look and see what is going on down into the final corner. He's going to get a big fat toe from the Audi, but the Audi dives in the pits. The Ferrari's only going to get a 10th. Is that enough? Oh, so close, right behind Hasbrock and Tuda. Who else is on a heater? Brian Douglas is, and he is up 6/10 out of the final corner. 6/10 is going to jump him probably P19, P20. See, boom, P20, ladies and gentlemen. Brian Douglas bringing it home, P20. And your provisional pole sitter, Farmer, coming down the front straight. Is he improved? He's only improving, it says, by a 10th. As he crosses the line, and he does with a 146.222 in the Honda. Ladies and gentlemen, huge shout out to the drivers as we see Farmer, Alex, Michelle, Wilson, Aiden Hasbrock, Tuda, Artem, Kimball, Casey Bennett, Andrew Jaski rounding out the top 10. Ricky Scott is probably loving it there in that P11 spot as they go through. So we're definitely going to be waiting as the drivers will get their little bit of pre-race break. I'm almost out of my voice here as we go through. So let's take a look real quick. We're going to, oh, I guess we're stuck here in the screen. Hey. So let's take a look. We're going to run down the order of the drivers. Hey, and we're out. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Your pole sitter, Mr. Farmer in the Honda NSX, followed by the Aston Martin of Alex Ardonian, and with Jacob Michelle in the Mercedes-Benz, followed by Wilson Fernandez in the BMW, Aiden Hasbrock in the McLaren, Mathis Tuda in the Ferrari, followed by Matt Artem P7 in the Audi, with Josh Kimball in that Mercedes-Benz, ladies and gentlemen. I totally can't think today for some reason. Casey Bennett, Carbonado's father, definitely looking super strong with that Porsche here at the British tracks, followed by Andrew Jaschke in the Audi. Manages to bring home a solid performance there with Ricky Scott, ladies and gentlemen, in that Knox McLaren there in P11. Afonso in the Aston Martin, P12. Stefan Buckley with the Audi in P13. Andrew Cooper in the Honda with P14. Then we have Trash Panda with the Ryzen-powered Ferrari. In P15, Jay Brolin in the Aston Martin, Alan Zhu in the Porsche, Louis Benora in the BMW in P18, Chrysler York in P19, Brian Douglas in the McLaren, a Blue Blair Racing in P20, Peter David P21, Renata in the white Lamborghini in P22, as we're bouncing up and down, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, here we go. Hey, Peter David bringing in the, oh, I apologize. There's the Honda, Peter David. Okay, Renata in the Lamborghini. Bruce Hopkins in the Aston Martin. Alex Medeiros in the McLaren, big damage. Collins, Cooper Simmons in the Aston Martin. Tim Wilkins in the Mercedes-Benz. We have James and Daniello, both in the McLarens in the final order. It's definitely an interesting one to say the least for these drivers and where they're sitting in pace and performance. But we are going to take a small time and to reflect on the for, you know what I mean, a lot of people are doing this. Motorsport community did this for Queen Elizabeth's passing, so we'll do a moment of silence. And there you have it, everybody. Moment of silence for Queen Elizabeth. As we are at the British track, so it only seems fair and right for her, for that country as well. As we get started here at round 2 of GT Meister Racing at Snetterton, we're about to see these drivers take off and see how well they can handle the British track of Snetterton. Farmer, your pole sitter. This is definitely going to be an interesting one, to say the least. The pace and performance of Alex are doing is going to be super strong. We'll definitely have to keep an eye on that. Curious on why Jacob Michelle is starting in the pits. As we get going here, we're definitely going to have to keep an eye on everybody, because Wilson Fernandez, the last race winner here at for Laguna Seca as the season opener, he had such a strong performance. So it's definitely going to be an interesting one. So I apologize about that, ladies and gentlemen, as we're slowly getting going here. Farmers rolling the grid out as they're starting to approach the back straight, working their way through up to the final couple of corners as they get going here. Farmer's going to have to try to figure something out to push the performance. He's had the pace in one-lap battles and one-lap pushes. The question is can he resort that pace in a full race setup, in a full hot lap heater? Because right now, it's 29 degrees Celsius on the track. And is his tires going to be able to handle those one-lap shooters? That is definitely going to be an interesting one, to say the least, as well. As we take a look, that's that right-hand turn there as we ride along board on the inside. Wilson trying to get his brakes all warmed up, running through the Ferrari like that. As everybody, people do not know, the there is ghosting on the formation lap, but the minute it says green lights, we're ready to go. Drivers are lining up as they get going here, and they're getting ready here, coming up to the final corner here and around the final corner bend. Will Farmer be able to pull out a victory here at GT Meister Racing, or is he going to lose it here? Aiden Hasbrock's going to have beautiful, beautiful open start here as they get going. Slowing down. He's not going to have a car in front of him because Michelle is not there as they get going. Green, 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 and we are ready to race, ladies and gentlemen. Farmer getting a pull on the Aston Martin, covers over the braking mark as the drivers come through. Farmer gets a beautiful run out. Does not look like a yellow. Everybody is starting to file through as they go through. Ooh, Andrew Jaschke losing the back end. A little bit bouncy down into the brake turns. Looking super smooth down into turn one. We're going to knock on some wood for that one here as the drivers come through. And it looks like Chrysler Yor is losing it in the back area as everybody starts filing in the middle section. Alan Zhu covering up on the inside with Brian Douglas working his way through past Renoku as he goes through. Alex losing it just a little bit. He's a little, oh, Alex Medeiros losing it in the McLaren. He's going to start making his way back over as Daniel Olias is going to try to make his way through as well. No. Oh, poor Michelle. Now he's shot with 2 minutes of a wait, and Brian Douglas has worked his way through. So it's definitely going to be an interesting as your leader Farmer's working his way. He has a bit of a gap, 4/10 ahead of Alex Ardonian in the Aston Martin with Wilson on the back end of the Aston Martin driver as they work their way through the back straight. Wilson looking on the inside, definitely checks out of it as the drivers come through here side by side. Ooh, Wilson's going to take a look on the outside, but checks up. Now here comes Aiden Hasbrock in the McLaren, showing everybody why he is the two-time champion at GT Meister. Ooh! Oh, Aiden loses. Oh, that is going to be a horrible right there. Ooh, that's going to be a tough one, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, Aiden lost the back end of it. Wilson had nowhere to go. Hits the rear end of Aiden Hasbrock. Aiden Hasbrock took a lot of the frontal damage on that as Farmer has separated himself from Alex. Now the question is, who is going to be? Josh Kimball sets the fast. Now Ricky Scott sets the fastest opener lap as the drivers are working their way down the grid here. Let's take a look who is the closer battles here as we see Josh Kimball, Matt Artem. Matt Artem covers the inside. He gets a beautiful run on two to, oh, there's the tap right there. Josh Kimball has to sit the car in the hairpin. Now Stefan Buckley working his way around. Oh, side by side they go. Josh Kimball trying to recover a little bit with the Mercedes-Benz as they go through. Stefan Buckley now going to try to switch back. He's covering the inside. Andrew Jaschke trying to make something happen as these drivers come through down into the turn here. As we see Andre Alex Afonso losing a little bit with that Aston Martin there. As we see Andrew Cooper, he's looking there. Tuda is now having to try to recover himself after Matt Artem tapped the back end of him as they come through here into this right-hand turn as they work their way around here at Snetterton. Josh Kimball knows he has the pace. He was sitting in the top fives prior. He's going to try to want to work something out as they go through. Let's take a look as everybody works their way through here. Ooh, Buckley looking on the inside of Josh Kimball. He's going to send it. Now Jaschke takes the look on the inside, but he backs out. Josh Kimball closes the door for Jaschke. Jaschke catches the curb. Cooper's trying to make something happen. Jaschke covers the door, slides over a little bit. Oh, Yord off the track in the back end as the drivers are working their way through. It looks like Alan Zhu had a tap on Chrysler Yord as they went through here. Through the bed. Oh, Josh Kimball is all over the back end of Stefan Buckley as they come through to the final corner. Not touching the curb. He's going to try to use that Mercedes power to catch up to that Audi here onto the front straight as they work their way through the grid. Let's take a look. Where is a closer battle? Everything is close here for these drivers as they come through. Andrew Cooper has the Ferrari of Mathis Tuda all over the back of him. A top five driver trying to chase back into the grid that he deserves to be in. Will the Ferrari driver look at a Trash Panda? Looks on the inside of the Aston Martin driver of Bowling, and he cannot make it stick. Louis in that BMW is trying to make something stick on the Ferrari driver, and he cannot make it stick here as they go through. Andrew Cooper getting a good separation of Mathis Tuda with the Aston Martin driver up bowling now on the back end of him as they're working their way through. Ladies and gentlemen, this is just for the fight for P11, 12, and 13. Not to mention the group for the P7 fight. Buckley, Kimball, Jaschke, all in a fight not that far away. Only 1.4 seconds out from them. And there we see Brian Douglas and Roku in the Lamborghini trying to work their way through, and further back P19, 20, and 21 are having the battle themselves as John Rowley catches the dirt a little bit. Now that's going to give Trash Panda a chance to take the fight and reel him in as Alex now sets a fastest lap. He's only 9/10 off the back of the pace of Farmer in this race as they go through here. We are seeing battles like nobody's business develop here. Artem only 8/10 back off of Casey Bennett. That's in P4 here. We're going to keep an eye on that as that's a big battle coming up to the front. Ricky Scott slots himself P6. He's going to have Afonso catching him very shortly. So now Josh Kimball is bringing that battle to Stefan Buckley. We're going to jump aboard with that one here real quick. It was showing super close as we see Farmer has separated the gap to 1 second from Alex, but anything can happen. Pit strategy as well as trying to work your way through the grid here in this race. Let's take a look. Cooper and Mathis Tuda. Tuda looking on the inside. Ooh, Cooper closes the door on Tuda. Tuda has to check out bowling in the Aston Martin. Now it's looking on the inside. Is he going to get the run? He doesn't, but Louis sends it. Louis sends it deep. Oh, wow, what a move by Louis. A little bit risky, but he manages to make it stick. Louis gets past Trash Panda. Question is, how much damage does Trash Panda have from Louis in the BMW to the Ferrari here with that move that he went to make it stick here? Welcome, viewers. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the race at GT Meister Racing. If there's a driver that you would like to see, please let us know. Ember, I know it's going to be Farmer Carbonado. I know it's going to be Casey Bennett, and Trash Panda is all over the back end of Louis as Louis had sent that move on him and trying to make it stick. Farmer, excuse me, I apologize. Chestnut sends it on Louis and makes it stick. Class work, baby. Class work. Definitely sends it. Now Louis is going to have to try to take the fight back to Chestnut here in this race, and Louis is going to try the outside. He's going to try to make the inside move. The BMW gets the run, puts the car in a bit of a blind spot. Chestnut shuts the door. Louis is going to have to check out as they come up through the fast right-hand bend here, as Tuda has now separated himself from that pack of groups here as they come through. But Louis still trying to make something happen, work with Chestnut as they come through. Now back into the back part of the grid. The battle still is not done yet, ladies and gentlemen. C. Simmons, we're going to jump back here. He is all over the back of James Parks, working his way through the grid and around the final couple of corners here. We'll have to keep an eye and see what the Aston Martin can do. Can he make it stick on James Park? He takes a late lunch break, checks out of it, notices the McLaren driver isn't going to allow anything to happen. So definitely good driving on them as they work their way onto the front straight. Now we're going to see, now Chestnut is trying to work his way to catch back up with Bowling. Looks like Farmer's having a bit of an issue. He separated a 1 second gap, but Alex is still all over the back end of him. Alex has not given up the pace against Farmer here in this race, which is definitely going to be interesting, while Wilson Fernandez has separated himself as well from the group. So the top three are definitely pushing themselves in a situation unlike no other. As we go, keep an eye as we see Bowling definitely looking to make a possible move on, excuse me, over here. Oh, Louis hit Chestnut. What a shame there on Chestnut. What a beautiful race Chestnut was having. As we now see Josh Kimball, he is let Tuda through, and Andrew Cooper is now going to be on the move to try to take on Josh Kimball here in this race. As you start to see, my little timey thing is starting to skip and jump. Poor Trash Panda is going to have to try to, Chestnut's going to have to recover as he's falling down the grid order. What a shame there, ladies and gentlemen. We have 50 minutes left to play, and then we should be seeing the timing board switch over here in a second for the pit window strategy. For those that are new and are watching, the pit window is 40 minutes long, starts at the 50-minute part in this race as we start to see here. Keep an eye on this battle in front of us as it starts to develop. Afonso now 3/10 off the pace of Ricky Scott, so we'll probably have to be jumping over to that very shortly here. And we are, ladies and gentlemen, here comes Afonso on Ricky Scott in that black McLaren and chrome as he comes through here into the infield. They're going to work their way through up to these series of left-hand corners before they start hitting a series of right-hand corners. Alex definitely working the brakes on that white Aston Martin, definitely showcasing the pace and performance of that front engine car against the McLaren as they come through. For those that would like to join the league, please let me know. We'll definitely get you a Discord link here very shortly. So they come through. Afonso definitely not reeling in as much as possible as what we thought we were going to see. As now we see Chestnut. Now he's going to do a little bit of a road to recovery race here. He's sitting there as he's made his way past the McLaren driver. As we see Michelle, he's made himself past the McLaren driver as well. So now we're going to see a top 5 driver trying to work his way through the grid. And he's pretty much just going to use Chestnut probably just as a little bit of assistance to get through the grid here. So that's definitely going to be an interesting one to say the least. Let's take a look here. We got Andrew Jaschke. He is all over the back end of Stefan Buckley as Michelle's now reeling in Chestnut super strong. Josh Kimball definitely getting a beautiful tow from Mathis Tuda here, the P11 driver, following the P10 driver. So this is going to be a super strong result for Josh Kimball as that Mercedes AMG powered by the ARC mod team is looking super strong. For those that do not know, ARC, Apollo Racing Club, is the North American league that we like to consider ourselves super good friends with, that we like to showcase races with as well, and participate as a good friendly banter between both leagues as we work our way through. Josh Kimball trying to make something stick here in this run as this freight train just keeps on going. But we're going to take a second here and drop back down the league order and take a look at Renato Ricciu, as Renato Ricciu is trying to make something happen on Peter David in that Honda. This is a welcome back race for him. But here we see Bruce Hopkins and Chrysler York. These two drivers are used to battling each other all the time in the East Seniors League, as they are still trying to work their way through the grid. So we just have battles all over this race, ladies and gentlemen. As we see on the little mini map, the triangle is your leader, Farmer, who is now coming across the straight, and it looks like Alex is not giving up on him, as well as Wilson Fernandez. So the question is can Farmer keep up with this? That's definitely going to be an interesting one, ladies and gentlemen, as we watch everything battle it out as we go through. So let's take a look here. We're going to drop back further down the grid because the battles just keep developing. As we see Cooper Simmons, is this huge battle coming through as we see Chestnut working his way through the grid. And there we see Alex Medeiros and Alan Zhu. Alan Zhu on a bit of a recovery race, and Chestnut is on a bit of a rampage here a little bit after Louis' tap here. So Chestnut's going to try to go around the outside. And is he going to make it stick? He's going to make it stick. Alex opened the door. Now here comes Cooper Simmons. Cooper Simmons is going to try to. Alex cuts the door off. The Aston Martin's going to have the run on him. He's going to look on the outside. Let's see if he makes it stick here. Alan Zhu's trying to reel in that run side by side on the drag race down into turn 1. Cooper Simmons makes it stick, but Alex is going to cover. Oh, Alan Zhu's going to have to catch the brake. Ooh, there's a bit of a tap. Ooh, he's going to cover the door a little bit. Side by side they go. What beautiful racing here, ladies and gentlemen. Super Milk Nasty. Well, I swear to God, you guys, the Ricky Scott group, I swear, you guys keep changing your names here. Super Milk Nasty will be jumping over to Ricky Scott, your boy, who is in P6 right now. We'll be jumping over to him very shortly as we keep watching the race develop here to see what happens, as Cooper Simmons is trying to pull away from McLaren driver right now as they come through. As we see Alan Zhu on the super late braking of the Porsche to make it stick. The Aston Martin leaves the door wide open. The McLaren takes a look. Now the Porsche driver of Alan Zhu is going to send it up on the inside, but he checks out. And onto the back straight they go with 45 minutes left to play. I'm going to lose my voice. I swear, boys. And here they go. Alan Zhu trying to make something happen here. Can he make it stick? We know he has the late braking maneuvers to make it stick as they go through. Does not look like he's gonna make it stick, but we'll keep an eye on that, ladies and gentlemen, as we come through. Now for the Super Milk Nest. I swear to God, you guys need to figure out your names here in a second. Oh, there's a little bit of a mess up. We may not be switching just as of now. As we see the leaders of the race, they are now working their way through. Okay, so we still have yet to see lap traffic being caught up. But Alex is now within striking distance, ladies and gentlemen. He is still within a second of the pace. He is F1ing this, for those that do not know. He is within a second of the pace, and it is just happening so much as we go through. Now we're going to jump aboard Ricky Scott here real quick. The P6 driver in the Knox McLaren, everybody. Ricky Scott looking at Matt Artem right in front of him with Alex Afonso, Andrew Jashty, Stefan Buckley, and don't forget, ladies, just Mathis Tuda. As let's take a look. Mathis Tuda, Andrew Cooper. Tuda's going to try to go for a late break. Josh Kimball is all right there. Oh, Andrew Cooper catches the brakes. He gets tapped. He's going to close the door on Kimball. The battle for P10 is now developing as we now see Andrew Cooper, Josh Kimball, and Mathis Tuda work their way through the final couple of corners and around the bends here as they go. Josh Kimball looking super strong for a top spot for the points here in this series as they go through. He stuck it through this season. He missed out Laguna Seca. He was definitely saddened by that, but he is here now racing with us, everybody, as we have 43 minutes still left to play. Josh Kimball checks out of turn one, trying not to risk anything, but Andrew Cooper is definitely pushing to take it back to Mathis Tuda in the Ferrari, as that Honda is showcasing all the power he could possibly have in the camo car as they go through. I'm starting to lose my voice. Alex is now not 0.949 off the pace of Farmer in the spread gap distance. So anything can happen here for that driver as we get closer. And Alan Zhu is still 0.3 off the pace of Medeiros as we get through here. Let's quickly right along board follow this as much as we can. Let's get you guys all an invite to the Discord. For those that would like to join, please click the link. That'll get you into the Discord. And also check us out at SimGrid, where you can sign up for the races. Oh, Alex Cooper. Andrew Cooper looking at on the inside. Mathis Tuda partially closes the door. Cooper having to check up right there. But does he go wide enough to get the back end of the Honda to break out? He does not in this race. He is looking super racy. Usually he races a McLaren, ladies and gentlemen, but this season he went with the Honda and he's been feeling super racy so far with that. And we're going to slide up board the grid here. Take a look at Andrew Jashke, who is now getting close to Afonso. Oh, he's looking for it. He kind of stuck his nose there. Can he make it stick? Let's take a look here as he comes into turn two, into the hairpin. Is Alex going to mess up? Oh, you couldn't fit a piece of paper through there, ladies and gentlemen. As Andrew Jashke, who usually primarily only drives front engine cars, he is definitely looking super strong here in that Audi as he works his way through the grid. Let's take a look. What other close battles we have here? We're looking super racy. Do not see any so far as we go through. as Farmer still trying to make something. Looks like Alex had a bit of an issue, about 2.2 seconds off the pace. But anything can happen as they reel in. But now Ricky Scott has slotted himself 2/10 off the pace of Matt Artem. But that battle for P10 is developing even super stronger as we see Ricky Scott all over the back of Matt Artem. Will he make it stick here through the final couple quarters? Let's take a ride along board and see what happens. Curious on what happened to Alex. He was 9/10 off the pace. Did he possibly lose it a little bit somewhere and just get caught off guard as they go through? Let's take a look as we see Ricky Scott now getting a beautiful run on the Audi coming down the front straight. We're going to ride along board in the helmet cam just to give you guys an idea. Look at that beautiful match breaking as these drivers are working their way through. The track has dropped 2 degrees Celsius as we see Ricky Scott still trying to make something stick and work here. Ooh, Tuda dives into the pits early. He is going for the ultra undercut strategy here in this race. It's definitely going to be an interesting one to say the least, as this battle for P5 is still starting to develop as Casey Bennett is sitting there in P4 all alone by himself. But Alex has managed to cut that gap down to Farmer now to 2.7 seconds. Ricky Scott definitely showcasing his pace and performance here at Britain. Oh, he's looking. Nope, he's checking out. You can see that, ladies and gentlemen, taking a look on the inside and just backing out there. Definitely be something to see in the future as they work their way through. You can see Andrew Jaschke still all over the back of Andre Alex Afonso in that P7 of that Aston Martin. They're still working through here. Ooh, both Audis just trying to stay safe and recover. Ooh, did Ricky Scott get the run? It looks better. Here they go. Down the front straight. Ooh, had to check out of it a little bit. Now we're going to switch back. Andrew Jaschke now. This battle between both packs is starting to spice up. Ooh, the Aston Martin went a little bit wide, caught the dirt. Will this allow Andrew Jaschke to make the run? Ooh, it does not, but it's super close. Farmer is now 2.5 seconds ahead of Arden. As Alex catches the inside of that corner, he's going to cover it to make Andrew Jaschke take the line that he doesn't want to take around the bend here. Question is, how much is Artem going to be able to hold back, as Alex is now starting to cut down the lead that Farmer had. Now it's down to 2.4 seconds. Here they go through onto the back straight and up to under the bridge. Here they go. Ooh, super late on the brakes. Both drivers covering each other just to make sure nothing happens here. As they come through, we're going to jump back up aboard Ricky Scott. He's going to get a beautiful run on this left-hand turn as he makes his way around. It is 5 p.m. in this race. They have about 1 hour in-game time to go, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 1 hour race, but it's a ×2. So in-game, it simulates about a 2 hour race, for those that do not know. Ooh, he's taking a look. He's definitely checking out of it there. So let's take a look. Let's see where other battles we have going on in the race here. Let's scroll our way down here as we take a look at Tim Wilkins and Chestnut. Looks like Tim Wilkins. No, Chestnut's battle. Bruce Hopkins on the back end. Brian Douglas all over Louis. Right now, Andrew Jaschke. These are the closest battles, ladies and gentlemen, that we have. Andrew Jaschke's possibly going to be looking for a move here down into the left-hand corner, but he cannot make it stick. As Andre Alex Afonso covers the corner. Ooh, Tim Wilkins definitely having a little bit of an issue, possibly tire degradation in that Mercedes. He is starting to fall down the grid order here as they go through. Let's jump back up board Ricky Scott as he's working his way on. Matt Artem. Now the pace is starting to separate. Now as we start to reach the halfway point, ladies and gentlemen, this is where everything kind of starts to slow down here. Definitely be interesting to see how this all plays out with these drivers as they go through here. Ricky Scott looking super. He's got that left-hand turn down pat. As Matt Artem now covers the inside. Are they going to dive into the pits? No, and Matt is... Ooh, Ricky Scott staying out. Matt's the first of the leader group to dive into the pits. As Alex now 2.3 seconds off the pace. So that's definitely going to be the interesting factor with the fast team trying to work their way through the grid order here. As it looks like Alex got past the back marker. Now Wilson's going to definitely have to make their way through. But the issue here now comes is when Farmer reaches that backpack. Now, will Farmer be able to get through it? Now, the drivers don't, if they're in a battle, and even though he's leading the race, they don't have, it's not Formula One. They don't have to move over immediately. That battle takes, theoretically, precedence over Farmer. Farmer can catch them and take a look on the inside, and be like, hey, I'm coming. But that's all. Ooh, side by side they go. Oh, here comes the left-hand turn. Will Andrew Jaschke stick it? Ooh, he sends it. Ooh, Andre covers it beautifully. Oh, Andrew Jaschke just rear ends the crap out of him. And Stefan Buckley's going to go through. I can't believe Andrew Jaschke. Now Andrew Cooper's going to get past. Oh, that was horrible right there on Andrew Jaschke as they're working their way through here. Oh, what a shame. As Matt Artem is now coming out of the pits, and Farmer's going to catch Matt Artem there based on the pit rotation. Now here comes Andrew Cooper. Andrew Cooper is now going to take the fight to the Audi driver of Andrew Jaschke. Now Andrew Jaschke is going to have all that damage because of the braking marks right there. Oh, what a shame there as they work their way through. So here they go through here, and we're going to see Andrew Cooper, Alex. Are there any of these drivers? Okay, Andrew Cooper's going to dive into the pits. Andre's going to dive into the pits. Is Josh Kimball going to dive into the pits as he is now approaching the main straight? He is not going to dive into the pits, but Chestnut is coming out of the pits. Let's take a look. What is the next battle as we see? Let's go all the way down to P21, James Parks. Oh, he's going super wide. As we see Anthony Medeiros, he's trying to reel in Cooper Simmons as the blue flags are starting to rise here. As we see Matt Artem right behind James Parks, that's going to be as they work their way through here. Stefan Buckley, he's up 2/10. He's sitting there P6 as Andrew Jaschke catches the dirt a little bit. And Stefan Buckley just slots himself up a little bit higher. So now this is going to give breathing room for Ricky Scott. As we see Cooper is coming out of his pit straight. Afonso's going to come out. And we see Louis, he is in the pits as well. As they go through, as we see Alex is now still 2.5 seconds off the pace of the leader. We have 31 minutes left to play. We're reaching exactly as Farmer dives into the pits. Now this is going to allow Alex to take the lead of the race. Wilson dives into the pits. He's going to try to make something happen. So now here comes the strategy. Now the question is, will that drop him into a very good section of the track? And based on the pit strategies rotations here, as we see Casey Bennett, we're going to give Casey Bennett a little love in the red Porsche, the highest Porsche right now in the race, sitting there P2 halfway through the race. He's definitely been putting the time and the laps in with this car. Ricky Scott's going to be diving into the pit. Farmer's getting close to possibly coming out of the pit rotation. As we see, Alex is still working on Matt Artem here in this race. As Farmer is working through, let's drop down to Alan Zhu. Now Alan Zhu is all over the back of the white Lamborghini as they are going through here in this race. Fast right. Ooh. He's going through the Lambo, covering beautifully on this. Just giving the door a little bit open here just to fake the Porsche out a little bit, trying to throw him off on the balance here. As we see John Bowling, he's going to be catching this front pack group here. He's now 9/10 off the pace. Now Alan Zhu, he's going to get clean air here in front of everybody. And there's Ricky Scott right there coming down the main straight. So we'll just jump along board here as Jay Bowley. He's got now Chestnut right behind him as these drivers. You see Farmer in front of him as they work their way through. Now the question is 30 seconds now. Question, Alex dives into the pits. Beautiful rotation as Chestnut now has to cover the brakes right behind Jay Bowling. The Ferrari driver trying to make it stick and work. Will this play out for Alex here as he's dove into the pits? Now, will Casey and the rest of the bunch dive into the pits as we reach the halfway part? Casey stays out. He's going for the long strategy. He doesn't want to get caught up with traffic here. Let's take a look. Where is Farmer on the track? P6. Farmer. You're coming around the bend here. Now up to the final corner. Catches a little bit of dirt. Now, where is Alex? Alex is in the pits. He's just coming out right now. Green light. Here comes Farmer. Here comes Alex in the drag race. Will Farmer get him? Alex checks up right behind him. Farmer's got warmer tires, but Alex has the fresher tires as the battle develops. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The battle for the lead has now started between Farmer and Alex. This is the battle we've all been waiting for here as they decided to close the gap. Everybody's now in the pit rotation here. We have Kimball, Bowling, York, Hopkins. They have all dove into the pits. Wilson there behind there. He's chasing. He's catching up to Chestnut as they work their way through. Here goes Alex. Now, can he reel in that time? He's within the second. He showed that he's had the pace to keep up with Farmer here at Snetterton. Now, the question is can he make this stick even more here in this race? Now, Casey Bennett has dove into the pits. He was a P4 driver here in this race. Did he time it perfectly? Ooh, looks like Farmer had a little bit of an issue coming out of that final corner there. Alex is going to get a bit of a run. Jaschke going for the super long run without the pit. It's definitely going to be an interesting one. Buckley's in. Brian Douglas has stayed out. Alex is going for a dirt ride in the dirt. He's still keeping the same delta. Hasn't fallen off a little bit on the times. We see a yellow flag. Everything seems to be okay. Andrew Jaschke still leading the race. He's definitely going for the long. Oh, what? You got DQ. Oh, man. Cooper. Oh, how'd you get disqualified? How'd you get disqualified, man? You gotta let me know. If you want, you're more than welcome to join in the booth to give us a little bit of a commentary special of what your thoughts are during this race. You're more than welcome to join us here as we're watching Alex trying to refix some of his little initial issues here in the race. He's up 1.4 seconds on his time. So hopefully he can figure a little bit of the pace out here against Farmer, try to reel him in. But we're going to take a look down the order and see what we have as closer battles, as Andre Afonso kind of got leapfrogged by Josh Kimball. So now Afonso's P13 with Tuda back there about 4.4 seconds off the pace, with Josh Kimball sitting P12 working his way up the grid. Ricky Scott now P8 but we also have Brian Douglas and Alan Zhu that still need to pit. Speeding in the pit lane. You can't speed in the pit lane, man. That's why I tell everybody, man, you gotta practice your pit stops. As we go through here, let's take a look. Fonzo still about a 1 second pace. That Aston Martin looking super racy here in this race. 24 minutes left to play. Definitely interesting to see more Aston Martins in this race than we do see BMWs. As that Mercedes covers that final corner, Alan Su is diving into the pits. James Parks is in the pits as well. Excuse me. As we go through here, does not look like the Aston Martin has much pace on the Mercedes when it comes onto the front straight. What a shame there for him. As we follow along with everybody riding, racing, let's see, the closest battle is this one with Afonso and Josh Kimball. As we see Andrew Jaschke, he has dove into the pits for his pit strategy here, so we'll be curious to see where he's going to fall out, because he was in a battle with Stefan Buckley here, so hopefully that was able to get him a little bit further in the grid order. Ooh, Afonso just catching that dirt edge right there, right before that turn. Ooh, Brian Douglas dives into the pits as well as Andrew Jaschke. So those are going to be the last two drivers that have yet to pit. And this is actually the closest battle that we have on the track, is between Afonso and Josh Kimball. See Andrew Jaschke coming out in P5. Stefan Buckley right all over the back end of Brian Douglas, as these drivers are working their way down the straightaway, trying to work their way past a back marker. Congratulations. Good work on them as they work their way through here, through this grid order, as Brian Douglas is now going to slot himself P13. In there, we'll definitely have to keep an eye on that. Stefan Buckley 7/10 off the pace. Alex Afonso definitely trying to make something stick and happen as they go through here. And here they work their way through the grid order. Definitely see how it works. We're going to drop down with Brian Douglas and see where he is sitting on Mathis Tuda. And there they are. Mathis Tuda, Brian Douglas, and Michelle on the back. Oh, sorry. Michelle and Tuda with the blue McLaren. Now, where is Brian Douglas? Oh, it looks like Brian Douglas is all the way back there for some reason. Let's take a look. Stefan Buckley now 3/10 off the pace of Ricky Scott. These boys are racing today, and we now have Andrew Cooper and Matt Arts in the battle. Ooh, Andrew Cooper goes super wide. Oh, question is, did he catch that curb or not, or was that a tap from behind? that's definitely going to be something that we will be interested to look at and see what had happened there. We're going to jump back aboard Stefan Buckley, as because this battle is developing and it is just bringing P7 along with them. So we have 20 minutes left to play, 10 minutes of the pit window, and everybody has pitted. So now the race begins. What happens? Oh. And Teleporto? McLareno? Possibly? Oh, Jesus. Yeah, yep. We got a teleporter. So here we go. Ricky Scott, Stefan Buckley. Stefan Buckley's going to want to try to make something happen here in this race. Ooh, Ricky Scott looking on the inside. Is the Alex going to move out of the way? He's probably going to do it onto the back straight. He's probably going to slide out of the way for Ricky Scott. Ooh, beautiful move right there to allow the driver. Oh, Stefan Buckley almost destroys Ricky Scott. Like, destroy as Alex goes super wide. If I was Alex, I would have just waited until you got to this straightaway, slide it over, but hey, everybody's learning. Now here comes Andrew Cooper as he's working his way down. Matt Artem's like, hey, Andrew Jaschke, I need you to move now. And Andrew Jaschke's not moving. This is a battle between the Audi drivers. All three Audi drivers sitting 6, 7, and 8 here in this race as they are working their way through Snetterton. And Wolf, damn, came late. It's fine, Wolf. We are watching an amazing battle between the two Audi drivers of Matt Artem and Andrew Jaschke work their way through the grid order here. Definitely have to see how Andrew Jaschke is going to perform with the pressure of Matt Artem's pace here down through the right-hand corner. Andrew Jaschke sparking it up here with 18 minutes left to play as we see Stefan Buckley now all over the back end of Ricky Scott. So the battle for the big part of top 10 is working their way through. You can see Andrew Cooper sitting right there, but we also have Josh Kimball and Andre Afonso sitting there at P11, and that battle is developing for the top 10. Let's take a look. Let's see, where's Stefan Buckley? Super late on the brakes with the Audi. Definitely gets a good run on the McLaren driver as they approach to the back straight. They are just neck and neck between each other as the race is developing here as they go through. As we see, it looks like Josh Kimball is going to have a little bit of a freight train right behind him as well. Here they go through. The leader of the race trying to work his way through traffic. He's got Alex still trying to chase him. Beautiful run by these drivers as they are going through. Track is still warm as we see Andrew Jaschke trying to something on the outside of Stefan Buckley. For those that do not know, Stefan Buckley is 76 years old. And Stefan Buckley says, I give you this much space. And it covers the door. Super clean racing by these drivers. Now here comes Matt Artem. He is wanting to chase them back as they go through. Beautiful lines, beautiful racing by these drivers. I have to say 100%. Now we're going to drop back down by Josh Kimball and take a look at what is going on back there real quick. And here we go. Michelle working his way back through the grid after messing up the start of the race. He's going to try to make something stick. Josh Kimball doesn't have to give the place up to him at all. And Alex Afonso is definitely having a little bit of issues. And Michelle's trying not to impede on this battle here as we see Mathis Tuda. Michelle's going to have to try to get past Josh Kimball here and just keep pushing forward As now we see Alex is 1.9 seconds off the. Oh! Michelle gets his past Josh Kimball. So now that's going to allow Afonso to take the battle now towards Josh Kimball here as they work their way through. Josh Kimball's going to cover one side. Now here comes Afonso down the back straight. This could help out Josh Kimball to cover. It does. Afonso switch backs. Kimball covers it. Beautiful move by Kimball. Now he catches just a little bit of the sausage curb. Thankfully, it's slow enough to where he can still recover. Afonso still all over the back end of him as they come through. There's Tuda looking from the outside, hoping that something happens. We're going to switch back aboard Josh with Andrew Jaschke as Andrew Jaschke makes the move past Stefan Buckley. Now here comes Matt Artem. He's got Andrew Cooper all over the back end of him, but Stefan Buckley has Matt Artem all over the back of him. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a battle for 5, 6, 7, and 8, and 9 as this all develops and goes through here. But we also have the battle for P10 growing here as well as we go through. Around the left-hand turn, that Honda of Andrew Cooper is looking super racy. Stefan Buckley looks like he has some damage, and he's just going to give up the positions here as they go through. Now the question is can Matt Artem hold off Andrew Cooper, the charging Honda of the camo driver? As we watch, the track is cooling off. It started off at 30 degrees Celsius. Now it's 25 degrees Celsius. The question is who prepped their tires and who is going to survive this as they work their way through. Let's take a look. Andrew Jaschke is about 8/10 off the pace of Ricky Scott. Oh, Ricky Scott loses it. And he just pulls right out on track right in front of Matt Artem. Oh, what a shame there as Ricky Scott. Andrew. Oh. What? And it, now Andrew Cooper. Oh, man. That was definitely the weirdest altercation I've ever seen in my whole entire life. As we see Josh Kimball, Michelle is off the track as well. Ricky Scott loses the back end of it and should have never rejoined there. What a shame for Ricky Scott. He was sitting up there in the P5 spot in this race. Andre taking a look on the inside of Josh Kimball, but can't make it stick as they go through. Now there you see Andrew Cooper. He's going to have a bunch of damage, but now Josh Kimball, P9, is looking at that P8 spot like, hey, I can get this. Now he's going to push as hard as he possibly can to see what happens. I apologize about that, ladies and gentlemen. Kimball now 7/10, Afonso 6/10. They're working their way down this back straight up to the final couple corners here before they reach the bridge. As they go through, ladies and gentlemen in the chat that are watching the stream, please let me know what is your view of the races as Andre makes the move around Kimball. Now Kimball's going to have to rework his way to get past Afonso here in this race. Now Afonso can pretty much stretch his legs now that he's worked out his way past Kimball. Now the question is how much of a pace difference was that for Kimball here in this race as now Kimball's trying to recover himself that one spot. Take a look. What else is the closest battle here in this race that we have as Wilson has set the fastest lap. Kimball still looking for something to stick here in this race. Cooper going wide into the grass. Definitely kicking it up a little bit. Fonzo definitely covering that inside. Beautifully puts the line on right there. So we're getting close to about 10 minutes left in the race. Now the question is, Cooper's going to get attacked here by Afonso. This battle, as Alex is now P, he's brought down 1.3. Did Farmer catch a lot of back traffic? And it looks like Farmer did catch a lot of back traffic. So now Farmer's going to have to try to restretch his legs here in this race. And it happens to all of us here in in racing. Sometimes you hit traffic and and the leaders, just loses it. But as they come through, now you have Cooper, Afonso, Kimball, and Tuda, 8, 9, 10, and 11 working their way through the grid with Ricky Scott, P12. Cooper catches a little bit of the dirt. Afonso's going to be able to drag race him down the back straight here to help him out against that powered Mercedes car. The Aston Martin looking super strong. He's going to take a look on the inside. Is he going to try to make it stick? He doesn't. But Kimball's going to have to check up a little bit as they come through. But is this going to allow Kimball to get a beautiful run on the Aston Martin? Does not look like it's going to stick. Fonzo covers the inside. Kimball gets a nice run. Cooper still trying to cover as much as he can. Bowling and Louie down in P14 and 15. Ooh, Alex looking. I apologize. Andre looking and backs out of it. Afonso does not know what he needs to do to get around Cooper. But that Honda driver is definitely holding up these three drivers here. He must have damage. He's trying to do a recovery race with 8 minutes and 30 seconds left to play. The question is, with 1:30 left, will Alex be able to reel in Farmer for the final couple stints here? But right now, this is the closest battle that we have. Afonso, Kimball, and Tuda. Ooh, down into the couple bends here. They're working their way through Tuda, now all over the back end of Kimball. Kimball is going to have to start switching from aggressive attacking to aggressive defending here against the Ferrari driver. One of the earliest pitters. Question is where's his tires now in this race? Oh, beautiful run out. Now the Ferrari gets the draft as he works his way down the back straight. Ooh, super wide by Tuda there into turn one. We were taking a look to see if something was about to happen, but it didn't. As we see Josh Kimball now still trying to keep Afonso within closing door distance just to take that fight in case of something happens here. Cooper manages to recover his tires and pull out a little bit with that Honda there and give him a little bit of a separation with the Aston Martin, but ooh, Kimball, almost tapped the back end of the Aston Martin, but manages to come to a stop super fast as they work their way through the grid. Ooh, Afonso catches the dirt, super late braking, covers the inside, runs a little bit of the curb, and the fencing that's in that grass there. The Mercedes driver is definitely showcasing his pace and performance here on this track here at Snetterton. Now Alex is within a second of Farmer here in this race. We're going to have to keep an eye on that, and if it gets any closer, we're going to have to probably jump over there because that will be for the battle of the race. That Mercedes-Benz definitely covering the inside line to where that Ferrari can't make something happen, but the Ferrari gets a beautiful run but he just can't make it stick. That Mercedes-Benz is sitting a little bit wider than what he really wants it to be as they work their way onto the back straight. This is the closest battle we actually have on track. Yep, it is. Wait, we have Alan Zhu. He's about 0.2 off the pace of Yort. We'll take a look at that real quick here. We'll jump down there. Let's take a look and see. It is nose to tail, just like the other ones as they go through. As we are 0.5 off the pace. Let's take a look, and we'll jump back by Alex. He's about 0.6 off the pace of Farmer. As we go through, there's Louis. He's going to be letting the leaders through. Now here comes Alex into the hairpin of turn 2, right behind Farmer. Louis like, I ain't holding any of you guys up. And let's see if Alex can take the fight. He is just almost there with 4 minutes and 51 seconds left. Farmer's going to have to push all that he's got. But the Aston Martin driver has never given up this whole entire race, no matter what happened. Louis just losing. I think he's waiting for Wilson to catch up and possibly go through. Or does he have a flat? No, I don't think he has a flat. As Alex definitely trying to make it stick here through these couple of corners here. They're going to have about 3 laps to go. So we'll have to keep an eye on them as they work their way through here. Will they catch the next back marker, who is just now entering the fourth last corner, I guess you want to say? 0.6 off the pace. Farmer's tires possibly could be dropping off. The temperatures drop now down to 24 degrees Celsius here with 3 minutes and 50 seconds left to play. Here we go through. Alex looking super strong in the Aston Martin, and around the bend he goes. Ooh, Josh Kimball looks like he lost it. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. We weren't able to follow that as the battle for the lead of the race was spicing up here. Josh Kimball lost it out to Tuda and Alexander Afonso, so he's dropped down to P10. But he's looking in a very good spot right now for a top 10 finish after missing last week's race at Laguna Seca with 3 minutes, 18 seconds left to play. Alex is within the closest striking distance he's ever been against the Honda driver of Farmer as we go through here. They're going to be catching what looks to be Brian Douglas here if they get to him. Louis is just all over the track with his BMW. The Aston Martin gets a beautiful run out of the corner. Now he's within 0.5. 2 minutes and 44 seconds left to play as they go through. Here, the Aston Martin's looking on it. He's super late break. Farmer catches early on the brakes. Alex now trying to make the look. He's going to go inside, outside. Side by side, they will probably be going here. Farmer loses. The back end stepped out of Farmer's car. This is going to allow the Aston Martin to run. Down on the inside, the Aston Martin goes. Can Farmer hold it off? The Aston Martin is now covering. He's going to have the inside. Is he going to have the run to work on Farmer? Now, Farmer, they're side by side. They're going to go, but Farmer's going to have a weird line. Farmer loses the back end. The Aston Martin's going to get the jump on Farmer. He's going to have the better line to come up to the final couple corners. The Aston Martin switches in front of Farmer. Farmer now loses the back end a little bit. Here comes the Aston Martin. Farmer definitely squirreling a little bit, losing it. That set him up to make the move. Now, can Alex hold off for 1 minute and 50 seconds left to play with the NSX trying to chase him down here in the final few laps of the race? Farmer definitely having to recomposure himself here in this race as we see Wilson in the background on the outside looking in on possibly if something ever happens here. Alex now covers the inside. Farmer's car looks like he roasted the tires just a tad bit. Here they come up to the hairpin. Farmer's going to take a look on the inside. He can't, so he's going to switch back and go on the outside. Now he's going to try to make something stick here. He's going to keep poking his nose to see if he can make something happen, but the Aston Martin driver has been unfazed this whole race. He's been down, but he has not been out. Will he make it stick? We have 1 minute and 8 seconds left to play. Will they have one last battle left? In the Farmer sends it on the inside. Oh, that was a little dirty move in my opinion, to send it there. That was a little on the dirty side. in my opinion, if you're gonna pass clean here, as the and that was a little bit of that was pretty dirty. As he waits for the Honda driver to move out and waits, and there is Wilson to slot himself P2 in that battle there. What a shame there for that race. As we see the drivers work their way through, Wilson's going to get a little bit of a maneuver around the two drivers there. It's definitely going to be a penalty. But he did wait, but it is a shunt. Wilson's going to try to possibly take the look on the inside of Farmer here as they go through. Alex is all over the back end of Wilson. They're going to have 11 seconds to go here in this race. Here they go around the left-hand bend here through the couple of corners. Alex definitely not having a chance to take the look from the outside in. Wilson is going to slot himself into P2. This is a three-way drag race down the main straight for the final of the race. Here they go. Here we have 1, 2, and 3. Farmer, Wilson, Alex. We're going to have Casey Bennett slotting himself possibly into P4 here as he comes around the final couple of corners here. What an amazing race, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, definitely tight, super close battles. Oh, wait, hold on. We're going to have a close battle with Tuda here. He's 4/10 off the pace of Fonzo as he's trying to reel in for a one-spot place here in this race. Here, we're going to jump along board him as he's working his way through on the back straight. Oh, catches the dirt a little bit. The back end gets a little squirrely. On the back straight they go. Let's see what they can do here as they work their way down. Under the bridge they go. He sends it through. Let's see what he can do. Got a curb. Tuda loses a little bit, but can he regain a little bit of that pressure that he was looking for? Does not look like he can really cover himself to make that stick there. Let's take a look. Is that battle going to develop? No, it's not. Now we're going to ride along board Matt Artem as he crossed the line for P6. Stefan Buckley, he's going to cross the line for P7. Andre Afonso manages to recover P8. Tudor manages to recover P9. Josh Kimball coming through. He's about to cross the line. Ricky Scott manages to recover his race, even with a little bit of a disastrous going off the track and pulling back on the track, which is a little bit of a no-no there. But, you know, he manages to make it back as he completely destroys his car along the thing. And there's Brian Douglas trying to avoid him, which is definitely not something I would have done. But, hey, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back. Let's get our podium finishers here and get everything started here with the drivers. Give us one small second. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are back with our P2 finisher, Wilson Fernandez, and our previous race winner from last race at Laguna Seca. Huge shout out to you finishing P2 with a little bit of some controversial things that happened towards the end of the race, but you managed to stick in with there to finish P2. I mean, overall, how was your race and working through traffic, Wilson?
Oh, it was an amazing racing. The first stint, my my tires are by low pressure, and adjust for the second. And the end of the second stint, I was running low on fuel, was saving some fuel, but the P1 and P2 crashed, so I have the P2.
Mm. Well, that's I mean, definitely strong points, but of course, anything can happen with the steward reports. Of course, as we go into for the next race of the season. So I want to say huge congrats to you making it onto the podium for the second time this season. We're gonna actually jump into with Alex. Are doing, I believe, if that's how you pronounce your last name, I apologize if I botched it. Our P3 finisher in the Aston Martin coming out swinging for your first race in the league. I mean, you seem to be a little bit always in the outside looking in towards Farmer here in this race at Snetterton. Definitely keeping within a distance, never falling too far back behind. I mean, I'm sure everybody just I mean, built up I mean, you know, you're talking the last minute of the race. I mean, your emotions go wild, and I mean, sometimes you catch your breaks a little bit and everything else, and that's fully understandable. But talk us through how your race went, and definitely like how pit strategy played out, because a lot of people, I'm pretty sure, talking with people or even myself as a driver, I mean, Snetterton's one of those weird tracks where you just don't know where the pit strat's gonna lay down.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing with the pit strategy for me was trying to only run about half of. Oh, sorry about that. But yeah, like, you know, about half of the race distance or so, trying to only limit the tires to, about halfway through, so you're not torturing them too much. So for me, I was just hoping that the way that traffic was going to play out was going to allow me to run right about the half-hour mark for stopping for new tires. And thankfully, I got lucky that as Farmer got into a couple lappers right before he got into the pits. I was thinking about diving in that lap. Saw him dive in and like stuck right behind another car on the way in. So I figured, maybe it's a chance to try and make up a little bit of time. Um, and it got me ever so slightly closer to him on the way out. But really, just race strategy is just trying to lay down solid laps, trying to be as consistent as I can, and try and be a little gentle on the tires, and it seemed to make a difference. The last couple laps, it really helped me close
Mm-hmm.
up the gap. And then, fighting for the win, it was exciting at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Little bit of rough and tumble there in one
Mm-hmm.
of the corners on the last lap, and then, you know, I I just completely misjudged my braking um, when I was behind Farmer, got into the back of him, and hated to do that. I'm glad it didn't cost him the win. I have no
Mm-hmm.
problem with it costing me a position
Mm-hmm.
with Fernandez getting by, but just especially the first race, you don't want to cause any issues on the first race in a new league. But thankfully, it didn't cost him the win. That's kind of the big thing there.
Well, hey, that's awesome to hear and happy. Now, my also other question with you coming in, I mean, are you pretty strong with a lot of the British tracks and American tracks, or are you kind of like a mixture of all?
Honestly, the British tracks are something I tend to despise, with the exception of Donington and Silverstone. They're a lot like club racing tracks,
É isso
in real
aí.
life here in the states,
Chega.
where you'll have a lot of you know um, narrower tracks with a
Mm-hmm.
lot of turns that are kind of a little bit inconsistent with some of the road surface and
Mm-hmm.
everything. But Snetterton honestly is one that I don't particularly like, but it seemed to run pretty strongly today, so I was glad to see that.
Well, that's awesome to hear, and congratulations on your P3 finish. Now we're going to slot our way up to our race winner, Mr. Farmer himself. Manages to bring home the car home to P1 to close the gap with Wilson Fernandez. So I believe you both of you guys will be tied up with everything going into the third race, which is Donington Park. Farmer, talk us through your race and that last lap battle. I mean, I'm pretty sure that the intensity was just at its limit there for you.
Congratulations to everyone. I saw there's many cars too show up, so great race, full grid, full attack. But the last lap was crazy intense. I was playing with the TC, and I went down too to try and just close the lap, close the race. And then I had a big moment, and I knew he was coming, so I kind of half gave it up, and I was just like, hey, you lost position, you messed up. Don't try to crowd him off the track or something went by. But I was really I was starting to actually really sweat and get a bit tired right at the end. And then there was a bit of I was ready to lose, to give up the win. I was like, you made the mistake, so the win is gone. He earned it. And then there was a bit of that, it was very minuscule, the lag or something. He was a bit covering the middle, I think, and then he went over. Then there was a bit of lag. And then right in the same second, I was like, okay, I haven't seen where he's braked. I haven't seen how fast he is. I don't know where he was maintaining time on me throughout the race. And so I had to lunge forward to actually more avoid going into him in the back. So, and then I kind of let off the brakes, and I know he kind of noticed. And then I was like, okay, I'll do half the curve, a very sloppy, hard move. And I stuck, and then I got hit, but I was calm. I wasn't right. I'm like, well, that's what you get for the hard move on him. So he's paying it back. And I'm pointing the other way, and I saw Fernandez, and I was like, oh my God, so I was playing with the clutch and the TC trying to go, and because I was going to give the position back actually to the Aston Martin for my kind of sloppy move before that. So I was ready to give him.
But then Fernandez came, so very. Are you guys still here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, but yeah, I have a lot of calls coming in and out, but it was just a great, overall, a great race. But the most intense part was the actual whole race. He was closing the gap. I think my tires went off a little earlier than his tires went off a little later. I got unintentionally held up a few times by a couple people, but otherwise everyone was great, and just a fantastic race. I can't wait to watch it again and see how everyone else did, and just really cool. I didn't get his name, and I think we lost a guy on the grid right before the race started, so
yeah,
that was a big sad moment. But yeah, just congratulations to everyone. Fernandez picking up a podium, and looks like we have a real tight battle.
Yeah, no, we definitely have a huge tight battle growing in the front of the leader pack. So it's definitely going to see how everything plays out as we go into Donington, which is definitely, for those that do not know, Donington is a super high speed, very bumpy track with a lot of off camber throwing off braking points. But we're going to be calling it an early night tonight for those that are watching. It's a huge Saturday, but I want to just say huge congratulations to Farmer on the win, Wilson P2, and Alex P3 here. Alex on his definite opener here. I just want to wish all of you guys a wonderful night, and hopefully you guys can make it to watch us next week at Donington Park, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here at GT Meister Racing. If you guys like to join, check us out on SimGrid or Grid Finder as well, and you can sign up in and get into the Discord. I just want to say have a wonderful night and take care.